This video will guide you through some basic troubleshooting steps that you may need after your initial setup of your water heater. Specifically, talking about if your water heater will not start, i.e. you hear no audible clicking when the water is flowing through the unit. At this point, your unit should be mounted and your water supply and return and gas supply should all be connected. The first step in troubleshooting is to confirm that you have the cold water supply and the hot water return lines connected to the proper corresponding fitting on the unit. Thus, make sure that the water in is connected to the right hand side where indicated with the blue water input label, and the water out is connected to the center fitting on all units as indicated with the red water output label. Except the 16-liter model, which has the water out connection on the left hand side of the unit as seen here. Once these connections have been confirmed correct, you will want to move on to the next troubleshooting step. Next, we will begin checking the batteries that supply power to the unit. We will want to begin by checking that the batteries are installed with the correct polarity. Please note that the polarity of the batteries is marked on the inner side of the door of the battery compartment. Here is a close-up shot of the battery compartment by itself to emphasize the proper installation directions of the batteries. Once you have confirmed proper polarity on the batteries, and if your unit is still not trying to ignite, we want to check for a good connection between the batteries and the battery compartment itself. You can do this by gently pulling the small metal tabs inside the battery compartment down towards the door of the battery compartment as seen here in this close-up view. Once you have adjusted the tabs in the battery compartment, please reinsert the batteries properly and check for ignition again. If you still do not have ignition with the unit, you will want to remove the front cover by pulling the knobs straight off the front of the unit and remove any screws that secure the front cover. And disconnect the two connectors for the display if applicable. The next step will require a basic multimeter to check voltage on the battery box. Locate the spade connectors that connect the battery compartment to the ignition module and remove these connections. Note that the black wire connects to the rear terminal of the battery compartment and the red wire connects to the forward terminal of the battery compartment. Now, set your multimeter to DC current and attach the probes from the multimeter to the terminals on the battery compartment. You should be getting a reading of a minimum of 3 volts in order to provide the unit with enough power to ignite. If you are not receiving 3 volts, then you can remove the batteries and check them individually to make sure that each battery is providing you with a minimum of 1.5 volts. If all voltages read correct, then you want to move on to the final troubleshooting step of this video. This next troubleshooting check will involve checking your microswitch, which is a small black switch with the metal lever on the right hand side and 2 wires connected to the left hand side. You can find this near the bottom middle of your unit mounted to the brass water valve assembly. You will need to open a hot water faucet or a valve in the house so that we have flowing water through the unit. We are looking at this switch to see if it opens while water is flowing through the unit. If the switch does not open with water flow, try turning your water flow adjustment knob clockwise towards a small water droplet on the cover and see if the switch raises at all. If the switch opens at this point but you do not receive ignition, please check the connections at your battery compartment and the microswitch clip that connects the ignition. If the switch does not open, then you may have low water pressure, a blockage in your water inlet screen, or you may need to make further adjustments to the water valve. Please see our other support video, how to adjust your Marey Tankless Power Gas water heater. If you have adequate pressure, then you will want to shut off your water at your shutoff valve and disconnect your supply line to access your water inlet screen. Please completely remove the inlet screen from the unit as seen here to properly check for debris. We see many new installations that have debris such as thread sealant like tape or putty causing a restriction here. Once you have cleared your water inlet screen, replace it into the unit, reconnect your unit, and see if the unit correctly ignites. If your unit does not properly ignite, then please watch some of our other troubleshooting videos or contact us via the phone or email.